Okay, fantastic. Well, today on the InsurTech Leadership Podcast, I'm excited to have my guest, who I've known for quite a while, Kobi Bendelak. He is the founder and CEO of InsurTech Israel, a global ecosystem builder connecting startups, investors, and insurers from over 50 countries. Under Kobi's leadership, InsurTech Israel has launched multiple international innovation hubs, built a global accelerator that's produced standout startups in AI, cyber, and climate insurance, and helped elevate Israel's population as one of the world's leading insurtech hubs. Welcome, Kobi.
Thank you, Joshua, for having me here. It's a great honor for me. I just saying that it's my second time in your podcast.
Yeah, it is.
It's a great honor.
There aren't too many who've come around a second time, so glad to have you back.
Yes, it's my great honor. Thank you for that. I really enjoyed the last one, so I wanted the next one.
Yeah, no, it's great. And we did just see each other at InsurTech Connect as well, which is nice, and thanks for inviting me to your event too, which was very nice. And so, I know sort of at ITC is a cycle where people announce things, and I know you've been, working on some things that have been an extension of the original mission of InsurTech Israel. So maybe just to start, for those who missed the first episode or aren't entirely familiar with InsurTech Israel, you could just give us a quick overview of, the history of the organization and some of the new things that you've been working on.
Fantastic. So first a little bit about me. I've been in the insurance industry for 22 years. I had one of the biggest MGA in Israel. I sold 50% from the company. Later, I sold all the company, and I just been retired. But it was too boring for me to be retired and 45 years old. So I looked for new adventures, and suddenly I've been informed about the InsurTech. It was just the beginning of that industry, amazing industry, and I decided to open InsurTech Israel. That was the next journey for me, the second chapter of my business activity. So InsurTech Israel, since then, became the leader of one of the most flourishing InsurTech ecosystem in the world. We have, I don't think there is any other areas that have so many InsurTechs in one city like Tel Aviv. It means that there is over 3,000 people who wake up every day to improve the insurance industry around the world. That's amazing. And we're supporting them with 4 pillars: investments, business activities, a lot of media and roadshows and delegations around the world, and our diamond, the Israeli InsurTech Accelerator, that been chosen a few months ago to be the best InsurTech Accelerator program in the world. So really active and supporting that great and flourishing ecosystem.
Fantastic. And so, are there any particular, highlights from Israel that you'd like to mention before we talk about some of your, more recent global expansion?
Yes, actually, in Israel, we can see the future of the InsurTech. Of course, the future of the insurance, but the future of the InsurTech. So a lot of things that have been developing here in Israel, implemented around the world a few years later. So right now, we can see a lot of movement around, of course, the AI, all that great tools accelerate the world. So we can see here a lot of great stuff coming out, or will coming out, particularly in the coming months of years. Probably kind of new insurance products that's going to change the way of people handling and protect them risk with the insurance tools, and of course tools that can implement and develop and accelerate the insurance company here. We had a few great exits in the last few months, like Plank acquired by Applied System and like Digital Hour lately, and of course Ergo and Munich Re that bought Next Insurance. And there's a lot of investments rounds running here, especially investments from the US and Europe. So we're really happy about what we are seeing here.
And I'm curious, as you've been through sort of the cycle of the insurtech market, I don't know if you'd say it really heated up, say in like 2017 or 18 maybe, to today, and the different services and programs you've offered. Has the nature of sort of the needs and the level of sophistication of the startups changed? And are the services that you provide or the structure of the accelerator program any different today than they were when you first started?
Yes, of course. That's a great question. Thank you, Joshua, for asking. What we are seeing here is something that, or what we are seeing, you see that as well, being mature. I mean, the insurtech industry being more mature.
Yeah.
The insurance company are not anymore curious about what is insurtech, what is mean, how that's going to hurt us, support us, changing us. They understood that insurtech is not so frightening.
Yeah.
So just because of that, they start to look at the insurtech as something that's relevant for them, not just curious. So from one side, they need to work very hard to schedule meeting with the insurance company. It's not like in the past that there was very curious, so you can easily schedule meeting. Now, if a scheduled meeting, it means that they are interested. And so right. In one side it's difficult, but in the other end it's make the entrepreneur life more bright, because they know exactly that if they are going to meet someone in the insurance company, it's meant that they do business with them, but he's relevant. It's relevant. So the business become more mature, and it's good. We believe we are seeing that the insurance company publish in the reports that we are interested in developing in AI and other technologies. So for the startup and for us and for our ecosystem is mean that it's better stage and more accurate and bright stage for us to do business.
And do you feel like there's better signal now for prospective founders to identify problems that really need to be solved within the incumbents' universe versus maybe a few years back, the focus was more on sort of trying to disintermediate a lot of the incumbents?
First, there is no chance to, I think, in the coming years, to sell insurance product without the majority of the insurance product without agents and brokers. There's no one wake up in the morning and say to his wife, "I want to do insurance policy today. Let's have two insurance policy." So someone need to explain, to look for the needs and sell the process and sell the product. So of course, during the years, we found that brokers and agents are really important for the startups. So instead of being someone that will replace the broker, the insurtechs become some friends of the brokers and the agents. You can see that in the growing activity of broker tech ventures, and it looks amazing. So for your question, of course, there's always needs for intermediary agents and brokers, and of course insurance company. But something very interesting happening, and I had a lot of conversation about that in ITC. Because of the insurance companies are really look for solutions right now. As I said, the industries are mature, and they don't have a lot of time. They're working very hard. So they use people or entities like us to look for solutions for them. It's amazing how much demand we have here in InsurTech Israel and that's the reason that we will speak about our expansion around the world, and how much demand we are seeing from the entire insurance ecosystem. They ask if we have solution for that and for that. They don't have time to speak with so many startups. So they need someone like us to look for the solution for them, filter, see what is relevant more, what is relevant less, who is mature enough, who is good enough, and just support them to choose the right path. That's one thing. The second thing that I learned and I seen that, and of course the conversation in ITC was very, very interesting about that, is that insurance company understood that they cannot have a long-scale process to implement technology. It cannot be happen that the POC will start today, and the conversation about POCs will start today, and the POC will happen 18 months from now. If it cannot happen in 60 days, it's not relevant, even less. So it's if there's a need, we need solution that's relevant now. So the insurance company needs to do a process internally process for them how they're going to implement a technology fast, and of course the startup need to be ready. Compliance, technologies, APIs, clouds, and everything needs to be. It's not plug and play, but very close to that situation. Maybe in the next decade it will be like App Store. But we understood that it cannot be. You agree with me, Joshua?
I think we had a period, like you said, where there was a lot of curiosity, you had a lot of innovation groups, you had the sort of just companies trying to learn, running POCs that probably had a very small chance of actually going forward. But I think to your point now, the incumbents, they have problems. They'd like to know, in the typical, build by partner model, is there a startup out there that can help solve the problem? That's the best solution, the best way forward. So I agree 100%.
Great.
So you alluded to some of your new hubs, and so I'd love to learn more about that, because I think that's super interesting that you're branching out beyond Israel.
Absolutely. So let's say 2 years ago, or a little bit more than that, we understood that the AI revolution will be very helpful for entrepreneurs around the world. So with the AI tools right now, entrepreneurs in Africa, in India, and Latin America can easily build an MVP without a lot of money and without big team. So if you qualified entrepreneur, you have good idea, and you have a passion, you can be in your own lemonade, of course, until the MVP, very fast, easily, and without a lot of money. So if there are diamonds like that around the world, and if there is a demand around the world for that kind of solution, we want to be there. That's what we realize. So our assets is to be close to the startups, and we understood that the amount of the startup that's growing very high in uncovered areas. So we started to be closer to the ecosystem around the world, and we opened the Global Accelerator program. It's an amazing initiative. We are doing that once in a year in each continent. We are bringing together startups from Africa, from Kenya, from Benin, from Burkina Faso, countries that maybe people didn't hear about them. From India, from Australia, from Latin America, Central America, bring them together for a very centralized and to cities that have a lot of insurance companies based in, for 1 or 2 weeks, for meetings, for learning, engaging, networking, and building network and relationship. So on that opportunity for insurance companies around the world, there's a chance to meet startups and great entrepreneurs with great solutions from Africa, from our continent that they will never had the chance to meet. And for the entrepreneurs, the same. So that's initiative is great potential for all the parties to be informed and to be engaged. And that's one platform that we built. And until now, we had a great success. We had a cohort in Tel Aviv, we had cohort in US, in Des Moines, and we had cohort in Munich. And the next cohort will be in Dubai, in the Gulf area. So we are doing that, and we've seen a lot of success with that initiative. The second thing that we learn and start opening is hubs, like InsurTech Israel hubs in Tel Aviv, in other areas, especially areas that will be, for our understanding, central for entrepreneurs, InsurTech entrepreneurs that will build the next generation of innovation for the insurance industry. So the first hub is open. We opened the first hub in 2025 in Guatemala. People asking why Guatemala. It's not familiar country. So just saying that Guatemala City is a great city for entrepreneurs. There's a dozen of InsurTech startups based there, but they needed someone that have the know-how how to build ecosystem that will support them. There are a lot of qualified people there, good university, and very stable insurance industry, and of course, supporting from the government. So the first hub we opened in Guatemala City. It's very successful. Right now, we are in the middle of the first cohort, the accelerator program. We already had a lot of activities there. And the second hub will be open in Eastern Europe, in some of the country that I cannot pronounce the name, but some of the countries that in Eastern Europe, and it will be the same like Guatemala. So it's an area, it's a region in between East and West, like Guatemala, and we are regional for the Balkan and for the Eastern Europe and Western Europe for innovation for InsurTech startup. It will be in the same country like Guatemala, not big country, with qualified people, good universities, and stable insurance industry. So by that, we will be able to be close to our asset, to the startups, to the technology, to the innovation, for our partners, the insurance companies and the brokers.
So in these hubs and the accelerator specifically run within the hubs, are the companies who participate, or the startups that participate, are they local to that country or to the region, or are there digital nomads who are from other places who've decided to relocate there because the cost of living is cheaper? Or what's the mix?
So first, you gave me an idea for the nomad.
There you go.
Thank you. No, but probably it's a regional. So let's say a great entrepreneur that live in Colombia and needs some support from ecosystem, InsurTech ecosystem, can arrive to Guatemala and work there. Of course, we are focusing on the Guatemalan entrepreneurs, and there's a lot. I know it's very surprising, but if you will arrive to Guatemala City, you will see hubs and a lot of movement. And it's amazing. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And the same in Eastern Europe. So it will be a regional for the let's say the local people, local entrepreneurs. But of course, it can be great hubs for others, especially that regions are starting to be developed. The insurance industry is growing, and they will need a lot of solutions. So for us, we will be very happy to welcome startups from other regions, but the idea is to be a regional one.
Great. And are you able to use kind of the same playbook that's been successful in Israel in these hubs, or is there sort of a different level of support and education that's needed?
Absolutely the same level. To be to be successful entrepreneurs, as you and I said before, you need to have good idea, a lot of passion, and of course qualified skills, and not a lot of money in a team, and not a big team. So for that, you need our support, our playbook, our know-how. So what is meant to build ecosystem? It's to bring all the partners, all the participants that supporting ecosystem all together to support the entrepreneurs, meaning VCs, angels, supporting from the government, that from the finances side, from the commercial and for the insurance side. All our relationship all over the world will be relevant for the startups, of course, relevant to our relationship as well, but back. So we will bring us, as I said, the finance. We will bring the knowledge, the professional people, the mentors, and of course all our experience and relationship and connection around the world. So good entrepreneur in Guatemala will be easily can meet some clients in US and Europe. We already had that success stories. So Santo is one of our great startup, came from Guatemala, is start working in US, and he now in Palo Alto look for in investment route. So that's the way that we are going to build our business.
Great. Yeah. Actually, that was going to be one of my questions, whether you thought it would be similar to a lot of the Israeli companies, since Israel's a smaller market, that focus on other geographies, with their go-to-market strategy. And how do you see that mix between, trying to get into the US or UK market or whatever the case may be versus trying to support things more locally in these new hubs?
Of course, every startup, even in Israel, trying his first steps with the local market. It's easy. It's easier based on relationship, understanding, culture, language, etc. But each startup in Israel, in Guatemala, and in other small areas, small countries, understood that if he wants to scale up, if he wants to be big, he must approach new markets, bigger market like US and Europe. And exactly what's happening in Israel. The InsurTech startup in Israel are not focusing on the Israeli insurance market. It's a small market. That's for push them out very fast to US and to Europe. What's make them very successful, because they need to compete in a very compatible and growing in big markets, and to make them very strong and professional fast. And that's exactly what we are going to do with the startups in that area that we are going to open the hubs.
All right, Kobi, these are some great updates. Congrats on this progress. Anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up today?
So first, saying thank you for having me here and ask me this great question. What we are saying that for the entrepreneurs around the world, be tuned and keep moving forward. And now it's a great time for you. It's the best time, I think, for InsurTech entrepreneur ever, because there's a lot of needs and demand outside, and you have a lot of tools that will make you be able to be a great startup very fast and without a lot of money.
Yeah. All right. Well, fantastic. That was Kobi Bendelak. He's the CEO of InsurTech Israel and some new hubs as well in other markets. And thanks so much for joining me on the InsurTech Leadership Podcast.